Hey guys, welcome back. This is Dreaming Angel Tarot, and this is my first reading of 2025. I hope you guys are doing great. Thanks for joining me for the first time or returning again if you've listened to another reading before. I'm still kind of new to this, so if you have any thoughts, comments, observations, anything like that, I would love to hear your comments. And definitely like and subscribe as well. So today I'm gonna do a reading focused on your career or your studies or whatever it is, kind of a goal you have that you're working towards at the moment. It doesn't have to be money related or school related or anything like that, but that's sort of what this is geared towards. And I just want to look at, this was kind of spurred on by a situation in my life that I'm going through. And I just wanted to look at something with your career where you kind of are feeling ambivalent about something, you're not totally sure what it means, what the future holds, how the situation is going to develop. I think a lot of things, as we go through life, as we go through school, as we go through jobs and careers and these different opportunities that we're given, we often find ourselves in situations that are a little unclear and we don't know how to proceed. And maybe we love what we're doing, we love what we're studying, we love what we're working on, but there's other circumstances that are difficult. Or maybe we totally love the people we're around and it feels like a right fit, but we feel for some reason a little unfulfilled. There's just could be a lot of different things going on, and I just thought I'd do a career reading today and look at that and give you some advice and some guidance about the best way to proceed. So for this reading, I'm actually going to keep it kind of straightforward and simple. I'm going to use my tried and true Radiant Rider-Waite tarot deck that I've had for I think at least a decade now. I've had to tape it together because it's falling apart. This is my most used deck, and it's the one I really depend on to give me the good stuff. This deck doesn't hold back. So I really want to get to the bottom of your situation. I'm also going to use the Rose Oracle for some extra advice and insight, and the one and only Carolyn Myss Architect cards. She's so funny. I don't know if you've ever heard her in an interview, but she's like that type of person who, when they get really passionate about something, they almost sound like angry. But I love this deck and I love her point of view and her perspective. She also doesn't hold back, and she gets really real too about what's important. So that's what we need today, I think. So for this reading, we have 3 piles. As always, this is pile 1, this is pile 2 in the middle, and pile 3 on the right. I'll show you these up close. Pile 1 is open. It says, say yes, open, not broken, trust life. That's pile 1 from the Rose Oracle. And you don't have to pick according to what the card says, but you never know what could spur you on and inspire you. Pile 2 is plant yourself here. Integration, embodiment, action. Pile 3, rapture. sensuality, love, romance, pleasure. That's pile 3. All right, so pile 1, I'll start with you. If you picked pile 2 or 3, go down to the timestamps below and click on the corresponding timestamp, and I'll see you in your reading. Bye. Hi, pile 1. If you picked the card open, this is your reading. It says, say yes, trust life. All right. So I picked one card for you, one card that represents your career or the situation you're going through career-wise, and then the relationship between you and this situation. This could also be a person or an event or just, an aspect of your career. So for you, I got the 2 of Cups. For your career, I got the Emperor, a Major Arcana card. And for the dynamic between the 2, I got the 8 of Wands. So I would say right now, what this is looking like is that you have, I think, a lot of passion and interest in something specific. And you do have a vision and direction for where you want to go. And I think that that's very obvious to you. I think that you're gifted in the sense that there is something that you're focused on, that you dream about, and that you're directed towards and passionate about. I think you are idealistic about it as well. And it means a lot to you. It could feel more than a career. It could feel like a bit of a calling. For your career, we have the Emperor. So again, this could be a work situation, a situation with school. You could be like going to get, this could be an interest in like getting a new degree or starting out just like a new venture. Just take this as it resonates. But I'm getting the feeling that this venture is something that's very solid, and that would be a big commitment and a lasting thing. If you went for this, I think that it would not be like a passing interest. This is something that would last for maybe your whole life or for a very, very long time. And it would be a very significant thing in your life. I'm wondering what the conflict is, to be honest, because this all looks very positive to me. The only thing I can think of is that you are just sort of wondering, like, should I make this commitment because I'm about to jump into something really serious. And so there could just be sort of some natural hesitation or reluctance just because you're like, am I right about this? Is this for real? And making a commitment itself is always scary, even if it's something we love and we're passionate about. Um, you could even have a partner in this, somebody who you're very close to, who's already at the school, or already in this line of work, or is going there with you, or gonna do it with you. And you're just kind of wondering, like, is this all for real? Because, you know, this is a big commitment in a lot of ways. It could be like, it could be a commitment for your life in more ways than just being a job. You know, it could be that you're going to be around a certain person a lot, or it's just, it means even more than maybe just the job itself. Or it could be that there's someone you're close to you who's invited you to come do this thing, and it seems like it'll be great, but you're just sort of like, what is this all going to mean? And there could be a feeling of hesitation just because you feel like your life's about to change. And also because it might symbolize a new level of maturity for you. You could be coming into like what you feel like is kind of a real adulthood for the first time. Or it could be kind of a leveling up in another way if you've already been in another career. But there's a feeling of flow here and a feeling that you're on your right path. And you just kind of pinching yourself maybe, or second guessing yourself because maybe it's coming together so easily. With the Eight of Wands, this is a card of passion, it's a card of flow, it's a card of ease, and it's a card of things happening quickly, and again, easily. At the bottom of this card, we see like a creek with this water running past this hill, and it's just this, there's something about this water, it's just so easy. There's no obstacle, there's no obstruction, there's no rocks in the water, it's not moving too fast, or it's just, there could be something about your situation that's kind of perfect, and so in that it's almost uncanny. The other thing, there's a second interpretation here, and that is you're interested in a certain job or a certain opportunity or a certain program, and you've been invited to come to that. But there's somebody you're going to be working under or working with, and you're sort of wondering, you're drawn to it, you're drawn to them. It could be a masculine figure, an older masculine figure, a mentor. And you're drawn to it, but it's just like, is this all going to go okay because this person's going to be in charge? And I hope it's somebody I can trust. The Emperor upright is a really solid card, and it is a very solid and trustworthy person. So again, the signs here are really positive. If this is a commitment to a person, to work with a person, again, I think this is somebody who would be a good mentor, who would be a good boss, who would be a reliable and trustworthy person. I think you are a little younger, you might be a little less experienced, and that could be, it could be a little intimidating to be around someone who really has firm views and maybe even has a very commanding attitude about what they do and about what they believe in. Maybe you're just not sure how you feel about their approach. But I think you're drawn to this, And I think you know on some level that this is really going to be good for you and your growth. Again, with these wands here on the Eight of Wands, there are leaves budding out of these branches. There's growth here. There's promise. So this is all good. This is a situation you can trust. And I get this feeling of just like a leveling up and a new challenge, that it's a commitment, you know, but I think I'm getting a positive feeling. And the fact that the wands are sort of pointed to this situation is kind of like, yes, like go for it, you know, go in that direction. It's interesting. I mean, when I was going to do this reading, I was going to do it about a current career situation. But all the indications I have here with the open card say yes, trust life, and the Two of Cups, which is about commitment. I'm really getting here that this is kind of actually like a new situation or a change that's coming into your life. This doesn't feel like you're stuck in a current situation. This feels like a new opportunity, or a kind of new situation of some kind. So I could be wrong and taking it as it resonates. It could even be that you've just been given a new invitation and you're still in an old place and you're wondering whether to take it. It could be that you're in a current job, but you have a new boss or kind of a new teacher or something, or a new mentor figure, as I said. But there's just something about this that I think there's sort of a new relationship or a new agreement or a new opportunity of some kind. And it could be that just like what's worrying you is that this is kind of moving fast or changing fast. The dynamic of the situation could be changing fast or developing fast. I'm gonna pick, hold on, I just wanna pick one card to understand what the conflict is a little bit more. Okay, I got the Hermit. So I'm wondering if you're used to working alone on something more, and this is about a new partnership or a new supervisor or boss of some kind. Maybe that's the conflict. I'm not sure, Pile 1, but I'm gonna kind of move forwards with this. So let me know in the comments what's going on. I would love to hear. So I picked a card for what you need to know about the situation, and I got the Sun. So this is, again, really positive, Pile 1. What you need to know about the situation is that you're on the right path. It's great. It's gonna bring good things into your life. You're blessed. You're following your passion. And I think really beautiful, amazing things are going to come into your life and happen through this opportunity. If you're hesitating at all, or if you have concerns or misgivings, just know that you're being reassured here. You can trust this. And then for advice, I picked a card for advice and I got the Eight of Pentacles, which is just about the card of, it's the card of hard work and mastery and devotion, craft. So what it's saying here is, if you take this opportunity, or if you do this new venture, you will have to work hard. This is a serious commitment. It's one that's going to be good for you, but it's telling you that with the 8 here, 8 of Wands and 8 of Pentacles, this is a pretty advanced dynamic. And so it's telling you that this is going to be a pretty advanced situation, a pretty serious commitment. And I think you're ready for that. But it is going to demand a lot from you. And it's going to help you reach a new level of mastery, of wisdom, of learning, of knowledge, of ability, talent. Again, this energy feels a lot like leveling up through a spirit of being open to life's possibilities and commitment to something serious. The last card I got was Lover from the Carolyn Meese archetype cards. And it says light attributes, great passion and devotion, unbridled appreciation of someone or something. This takes me back to, I just am wondering if you actually are in a relationship with someone who is part of this endeavor or part of this new venture. It feels like that a little bit. So it's could be even more of a commitment than just, like I said, taking a new job. It could be like a life commitment as well, where you're also signing up to be with this person all the time, work with this person that you could have kind of a close relationship to in some way. I think either this person or whoever it is that you're working with is going to really hold your feet to the fire. They believe in you and they see your potential. And they're going to make sure that you do fulfill that potential. But also with this card, I'm just thinking of how you clearly have a passion here about something. You do have a devotion and a love for this thing. And I think that's amazing, and I don't think that there's much here that you need to worry about. So I hope I got that right, Pile 1. Congratulations. I wish you all the best. And again, let me know in the comments how this resonates. I'm really curious. All right, take care. Bye. Oh, Pile 1, there's just one more thing I want to point out about your reading. If this is a situation in which you're already in this commitment, signified by the 2 of Cups, this could be that the person you're working with or under is really in a position of power, almost over you. And they're kind of taking, again, with these wands pointing towards this person, it's like they're really, you know, the ones to make decisions. And you could be wondering if you should like go it alone instead of be in this partnership that you're currently in. That's one other interpretation, I think, of these cards. And I just don't think you need to be. I think, again, with the sun being here, it's telling you that the situation is okay right now. And the advice, again, is the Eight of Pentacles. I think you need to focus on your work and on your craft and on your potential and developing that. Developing your strengths, your gifts, your knowledge, your experience. I think that's the thing to focus on right now. And at least for the moment, if you do have misgivings about a partnership or a commitment you're already in, it's saying that it's okay. And again, you're on the right path. Oh my gosh, pile one, I keep thinking of things that I wanted to say. The last thing that I'm taking from your spread and the cards I drew for you is, if you are wanting a new opportunity, if you're wanting to find a partnership and kind of a work venture to commit to, or organization, or like a new workplace to, you know, work with and do projects with, a new partnership, that is coming to you. So that's the last interpretation I have for this. It could be that you are on your own right now, or you're feeling like you need more help. And so you could be in the place where you're like seeking this partnership. So I think it's telling you, this is telling you to stay open and that this is coming for you. And I think it'll happen really easily and effortlessly. And you're on the right path. Again, just focus on your work and the passion you have. Hi, Pile 2. Welcome to your reading. So, if you picked Pile 2, plant yourself here, integration, embodiment, action, then this is your reading. So, first of all, I picked 3 cards. I picked one for you, one for your career or your work or school studies situation. And this card could either be a person or a situation or like a place. We'll see what it is. And then I picked one card for the relationship and the dynamic between you and this situation or person or place. So for you, I got 6 of Cups. Okay, this is the card of sweetness, innocence, love, purity, nostalgia, sentiment, comfort, pleasant feelings. Nice, okay. So overall, so far, this is kind of a positive card for you, I think. For the situation in your career or your studies, I got the King of Swords. So I feel like this is a person, and this would be a person in your studies or work situation who their word goes. They're the ones who make the decisions. This definitely feels like a boss or an authority figure, and it feels like a masculine presence. If it's a woman, she could be like a very no-nonsense type of person or have some masculine energy of some kind or dress that way. But this definitely is, it's a masculine energy, and it's a very no-nonsense energy. And this could be a person who feels like they know what's best, and that their decisions, that their guidance, that their opinion is right, whether that is true or not. Usually this is a person who strives to be honest, however. The king is the most mature energy in the swords. Typically, this is kind of an energy one can trust. But they also may be so far advanced or kind of so experienced or like getting on in years or something like that, that there could almost be an out of touch quality. That's what I'm picking up so far. They could be a little bit in their head and in their own experience and hard to relate to. Or they find it hard to relate to others. There's something a little bit hard to reach or, yeah, like out of touch about this person is the feeling I'm getting so far. The dynamic between you guys is the Empress. That's really interesting. Okay. I'm actually a little bit stumped here, pile 2. I'm gonna keep looking at the other cards I picked and come back to this. Just give me a minute. So the Carolyn Meese archetype card I picked for you is Knight. Light attributes: loyalty, romance, and chivalry, a love of honor. The shadow attributes are allegiance to a destructive ruler or principle, romantic delusions. A message from Spirit, the 9 of Pentacles. This is what, oh no, I'm sorry. It's more specifically, that was the card of what you need to know about the situation, the 9 of Pentacles. And then for advice, we got the 4 of Swords. There's weird conflicting energy here right off the bat that I'm getting. I'm getting messages that are about this being sort of an idealized, sentimentalized situation of some kind. It feels romantic almost. We have the word delusion. The 6 of Cups is about this kind of overly idealized, like situation. And then we have some very grounded energy. We have the 9 of Pentacles, which is all about like something fruiting materially in the real world, and it's with the Pentacles, it's very real. Plant Yourself Here was your original card. It's almost like a synonymous card with the 9 of Pentacles. It's about growing and nurturing something. And with the Empress, this is a very earthy card. And with the King of Swords, this is a very removed, we have this very earthy kind of sensual energy, romantic energy, and then we have this very removed, intellectual, kind of masculine card here. The Empress is a card of fertility, and it's a card of, it's the archetypal feminine. It's the feminine who's in her power by expressing those sensual qualities of herself and being close to the earth and being in touch with nature. She feels her way through life through her senses, and she feels grounded and embodying her feminine traits. This is a card of creativity. I'm guessing that you and this King of Swords person are working together to birth an endeavor, and I think it's in a creative capacity. There may or may not be some sort of love or idealism or romantic feeling going on. Or maybe you work in this industry somehow. You work sort of in the realm of issues around women or issues around love or romance or sex, or maybe, I mean, who knows, maybe you're in just like an industry that revolves around those things in some way. The feeling, the kind of conflict here or something is that you're a little bit more, again, dreamy and romantic and idealistic, coming from a more innocent place, whereas the person you're working with or under is coming from a much more pragmatic, cold place, where there's not as much kind of unbridled enthusiasm. This is a person who kind of just says yes and no to things, and this is a really interesting person to work with when you have this kind of energy. I do want to tell you, Pile 2, that this is beneficial and it's good. The card you got, Plant Yourself Here, I just want to read this Rose Oracle message because I think it's important for you to hear. Invite your soul to come all the way in. From your knees to your nose, from your cheeks to your toes, fully embody your life. Drop the defensive walls. Let your soul land and occupy each and every cell. Anchor all parts of you into the here and now. Life is here even when death is here. Birth isn't possible without it. And you came here to birth this world anew. All right, it says fully commit to living this life. Put your 2 feet and your ancient soul wholly and completely in. I wonder if the question is, how can you commit more to your life? I'm going to pick one more card so I can understand what's going on here a little bit better. Oops. So I got the Ten of Pentacles come out, and it came out sideways. It feels almost like with this idea of commitment and planning yourself, I feel like you're hesitant to do that here for some reason. I think you feel very removed from this person who you're working with, who could be very cold and distant. And you're questioning the fruits of this and whether this commitment is right for you and if it'll pay off. The state of mind you're in right now is kind of one of play and fun and like a childlike approach. But, you know, the energy, it's like you're planting things, you're planting little flowers in these cups, but you're not planting yourself. And the figures on this card are children. So there's a sense that there's not a fully adult commitment or embodiment just yet. Or you could be in a place temporarily where you're in a little bit of a regress state, like psychologically or emotionally. And the issue here is that something wants to be created, something wants to be born through you. And you have this kind of unrelated energy standing in for the practical side of your career. And I do feel like there's a little bit of a mismatch. The feeling that I get for you is that you're being asked to fully embody your authenticity and commit yourself to this. The Four of Swords is actually an energy of commitment. Because the soldier here lies in repose before he's going into battle. And so he's preparing himself, he's praying, he's meditating, he's collecting himself and preparing to go in. And here we have the Knight, which again is an energy of devotion. There's a lot of romantic, creative, almost like fairy tale energy here in these cards. This feels kind of a storybook in a way. There's a playfulness here with the Six of Cups. But I think that there's an energy of getting serious too. Of getting grounded. And having faith. And your spirit guides want you to know that this situation is a good one. It's going to be prosperous. It's good for your growth. I think the thing to ask yourself right now is, how can I commit more fully to the exploration of this? And how can I kind of get beyond and outside of myself? How can I become even greater than I am right now? How can I outdo myself and reach a new stage? I think it's asking you also to determine this by yourself individually and go inwards. I think you're on the right track, you're on the right path. But there's an energy being asked of you, which is one of even deeper commitment. And some soul searching, I think. You seem a little detached. Again, the feeling I'm getting is that there's just a little bit of an incongruous energy and a little bit of a feeling of just being detached. And I think you need to go inwards. Ask yourself some deep questions. Take some time to sit with that and really get clear in your mind what you want, and devote yourself to that. Make that your mission. Again, you're just being called here to embody more of your potential, to level up, to become more committed. And there's really a lot of good signs here. This Nine of Pentacles coming out is just, it's just a reassurance for you that you are doing the right thing and that this will bear fruit. You're not feeling that right now though, because more is required. You're reaching a new level and more is being asked of you spiritually. You need to commit even more. When you look at the knight or think about knights in medieval literature, those are characters of devotion. Those are characters of honor and dedication, persistence. They don't give up. And they're true to what they want. They speak with their actions. There's almost a mission for you. And it could be that it's been a mission you've had since you were a child. But you're being asked to really realize that in the real world, in terra firma, and to commit yourself to that. And to work towards making it real. Ask yourself what it is you really want, and then listen to the answer. And then plant yourself in that place. The Four of Swords is the card of being a channel and receiving guidance, also from the divine. It's a card of meditating and contemplation. And so, plant yourself there, plant yourself in the seriousness of that dedication, of that contemplation. Of that journey, and embody it. There's an interesting paradox in this card, how this soldier really is about to go out into battle, but he almost looks like he's a statue on the tomb. And that issue with the way the body is depicted, it's reminding me of the quality of like how you can become more than yourself. You can take on these brave, noble, amazing qualities and surprise yourself and become even more divine and embodied than you ever thought possible. Again, there's a sort of a special fairy tale, magical quality to this pile. It's like a parable or a fairy tale or a myth. And this destiny awaits you. And I think if you commit to it and commit to your path, I think a lot will open up. if you are having any conflict with this person, this authority figure, I think that will reveal itself, that will make itself known in a way where you know what action to take. But I think right now, you need to sort of get right with yourself and center yourself. And understand how it is that first that you can grow. You also might need to take a little bit of a break in order to plant yourself and commit yourself more fully. You might need to take a moment away from everything to get clarity. So there's nothing wrong with doing that. I don't get the sense that this increased commitment is like some crazy extroverted outgoing action. It's actually one of going inwards. So I really hope that helps. Pile 2, I really appreciate you being here, giving me your time and giving me your trust. I would love to know how this resonates. Please let me know in the comments what you're up to. And please know also that there's promise here and there's a lot of growth and potential. So if you're wondering, will this bear fruit? It will. There's nowhere else you need to be. You're in the right place. It's just time to kind of go inwards in order to level up to the next stage. And this is about a passion. This is about, I think, a creative endeavor. And if it's not, it's about working with women or around women, or like the idea of the feminine in some way. Okay, thank you. Bye. Hi Pile 3, welcome to your reading. So, I picked to start. I picked 3 cards. I picked one for you, one for your career or work situation or school situation of area of studies, whatever. And then a 3rd card, and here in the middle, for the relationship or the dynamic between you and the situation. And this card could also be, it doesn't have to be a situation, it could be like a person or a place you're at. It just depends on what the card is. And then I picked another card for what you need to know about this. And then the last card is some advice from Spirit. So first, for you, we get the 3 of Wands. So you could be in a place right now where you're looking to expand, you're looking to broaden your horizons, you're looking possibly for like a new passion or a new venture, a new endeavor, or a new place to like put your passions. If you already are passionate about something, this could be looking for a new challenge or a new way to like level up or a new experience to be had. You could be like wanting to like work with more people, to just like venture out there in the world a little bit more. Travel maybe, experience new things. For the situation in your career, I got the Ace of Wands. So this means that you have a new creative idea, or that you might be just at the start of a new venture, or a new idea you're trying to develop, or a new project. So this is all kind of like big, passionate, creative, expansive energy, but it's more right now in a place of it's being developed, it needs to be nurtured, it hasn't really come into something solid yet, but there's like huge potential here, huge passion, a lot of promise. I also am getting the feeling that you are kind of an entrepreneur maybe, or like you're doing, this is a solo project. To the extent that you do work with someone, you are the one in charge of the project. This is your project, this is your baby. If that's not the case, then there could be another pile for you. There's not another person coming out here in these cards, so it really does feel like this is a project you're doing yourself and that you're starting, or you're a creative person who works alone. And the relationship between these two things right now is that you are feeling a little bit, you could be feeling a little bit out of your depth, or inexperienced, or that you're still in a place of discovery. You're very, very curious, you're very open, you're very enthusiastic, you're totally in love with this thing. You got rapture here, for, again, this is pile 3. And under rapture, it says sensuality, love, romance, pleasure. So you are in rapture. I think you're sort of in a kind of heaven doing this. You feel devoted. Not only you, but all of the piles so far have been very passionate, very devoted. There's a clear sense of like, you know what you want to do. So that's really interesting to see. I haven't gotten a pile so far where there's not a sense of devotion or passion. But there could be a little bit of a lack of experience here, or a sense that these, waters behind this page are really up and down. You could sometimes find yourself a little bit moody about this. Sometimes you feel optimistic, sometimes you feel pessimistic. There could be a sense that you really don't know what to expect or to plan for. And there's so much potential, but there's not quite as much like groundedness or solidity or preparation. But that's, I think, something that, let's see, let's get the advice from Spirit, and also what you need to know. So what you need to know is the King of Wands, and the advice from Spirit is the Six of Pentacles. So what you need to know is that this is a promising endeavor. With the King of Wands here, it's telling me that either you will mature into this king and you will be able to evolve into this more stable, realized place. Either that, or there's somebody who could be interested in mentoring you, investing in you, teaching you, helping you, guiding you, being a part of what you're doing. Somebody that knows more, or somebody whose model you can follow a little bit. There's a more grounded energy and mature energy coming in here with this King of Wands. I do think you're kind of a visionary. I don't mean to say that you can't do this thing and that you're not capable of it. I think you totally can. I just think this is the place you're at right now is just still kind of an earlier evolution of the possibilities that exist ahead of you. And you're still looking outwards, you're still looking to expand, you're still looking to learn. But this possibility, this like maturity is there for you. Whether it's yourself someday or it's somebody else right now coming in, there's promise here. Advice is the Six of Pentacles. So this is one of those cards in this context could mean several things. One is that if there is somebody here interested in being a part of what you're doing or giving you guidance, it could be that they want to invest in you somehow or pay you for your services. You could be finding a new client base, or again, there could be somebody that's investing in you. There's a note of caution here. And that is to know that if you accept help, if you accept money, you have to fulfill your end of the bargain. It has to be equal. You're going to be in partnership with somebody else. You can't just take, someone's assistant and that be it. If they're investing in you, you have to make sure you're giving them what you owe them. And you're honest and straightforward about that. And you have to take that seriously, and you have to treat that investment seriously. Another message here is that you could be worth more than you realize, or that your venture could be worth more than you realize. If you make something, or if you're putting something out into the world that's creative, it could be that you can be paid more for it. And then the other thing coming to mind is that it could be that what you still need to learn, and the last sort of thing to help this come together into a more mature place, this creative opportunity and idea that you have, what will help make it real and grounded and solid is really tweaking and finding that perfect kind of appeal. Like, kind of, you know, if you're writing ad copy or something, just like that perfect kind of thing where you're like, this is what I'm selling and this is how much it costs. And it just could be about tweaking that message to the consumer, to the client, to the person you're making something for. It could be that something about finding the right price or finding the right amount of money, pricing it at the right place, or the exact right price or whatever. Something about that could be the thing that really makes it or breaks it. And in general, this is just asking you to become more conscious of that transactional side of things. The way to ground and grow this creative gift and this creative potential is to really get conscious about what this transaction is and how it manifests in the real world. What's the service you're giving people, and also what are you taking from people, and getting that right, getting that in balance. Lastly, this could be a sign that if someone comes along to help you, this could be advice to go ahead and take that help. But again, make sure that you're also being transparent and honest, and that you're in a place to be able to honor that person's commitment to you, and that you're not hiding anything from that investor and from that person who wants to support you. The Carolyn Meese archetype card I got for you was Martyr. Light attribute, learning the transcendent nature of service to oneself or a cause. Shadow attribute, addiction to self-pity. Sometimes when we see ourselves as less powerful than those around us, it actually does not only ourselves, but it does the other person who's working with us a disservice, because we're shortchanging them too. We're not empowering ourselves, and we're not honoring the commitments that they've made to us. You're out alone here, you're out kind of on a limb. You're devoted to a creative endeavor. I think it's not going to do yourself any good to see yourself as a martyr or see yourself as helpless. I think remember that however the money is going, there's an equal exchange here. The balance here, if you look at this card in the Six of Pentacles, is equal. That means it doesn't matter if you're the one accepting the money or giving the money. There's an equal exchange, and you're not a victim. You can have respect for yourself, and you you need to honor people. You need to honor the other people that invest in you and believe in you, even if you feel kind of helpless and scared and disempowered sometimes. But that's just a slight kind of, I don't know, just a slight feeling I'm picking up. For the most part, you are really in a good place, and it's just time to push forward. I think you probably will need the help of other people, and that might be the trick for you, is learning how to accept help, learning how to work with other people, since this is kind of a endeavor for just you. It could be hard not to get discouraged at times, I feel, as well. But you're so lucky to have a strong sense of direction, a dream and a passion. And just remember, that you do live in the real world, so inevitably you will have to deal with this Pentacles element in what you do. And that don't let that discourage you. It's okay. Make sure that everything's equal, that there's an equal exchange. And again, karmically, when you get that right, I think that will open up the threshold and the portal to a different place and a different level and a whole new opportunity for you. There's a lot of promise here. Thank you, Pile 3. I would love to hear what you're working on and what you're doing. And I wish you all the best. I'll see you soon. Bye.